Branches of external carotid artery. Let's draw skull. This is mandible, orbit, temporal lines, mastoid process, sutural lines in the skull and in the midline of neck, thyroid and cricoid cartilage, and this is thyroid gland. Now the common carotid artery bifurcates at the upper border of thyroid cartilage. Internal carotid artery and external carotid artery. What happens at the bifurcation? There is a small dilatation at the base of internal carotid artery which contains baroreceptors called carotid sinus, and this is supplied by glossopharyngeal nerve. A structure which contains chemoreceptors found at the bifurcation of common carotid artery is called carotid body, supplied by glossopharyngeal and vagus nerve. Moving on to the branches. First branch arises anteriorly, supplies the thyroid gland called superior thyroid artery. The external carotid artery gives a small branch which runs in the side wall of the pharynx called ascending pharyngeal artery. And the third branch of external carotid artery supplies the tongue called lingual artery. Fourth branch winds around the base of the mandible and ascends till the medial canthus of eye. And this artery is tortuous, called facial artery. External carotid artery gives a branch posteriorly to supply the occipital region of the scalp called occipital artery. Another branch given posteriorly to supply the skin over the mastoid process and area behind the auricle called posterior auricular artery. External carotid artery ascends up and it gives a transverse branch called maxillary artery, and it terminates by running vertically upwards, and the branch is called superficial temporal artery. So now what are the anterior branches? Number 1 is superior thyroid artery, 2 lingual, 3 facial artery. We have one medial branch, smaller branch, ascending pharyngeal artery. Posteriorly, one near the occipital region and one behind the auricle. Occipital and posterior auricular artery. Terminates by giving maxillary and superficial temporal artery. These are the 8 branches of external carotid artery.